off to land on the floor. Unharmed, the salt cellar rolled clear. Ignoring the dazed buzzing of the would-be thief, she knelt to recover it. "What the hell is going on here?" she mumbled to herself as she put the skillet aside and pulled the big broom from storage. Now, where was the dustpan? As she bent over to search for it, something smacked her in the rear. Clutching the broom in front of her, she whirled. It wouldn't be called a demon, though it wore a demonic grin. Considerably larger than the pair of intruders she'd already coped with, it squatted before her on thickly muscled, kangaroo-like legs, its flat fish face regarding her blandly. Lavender scales covered the naked body except for the pair of turquoise tentacles that made swimming motions against the air. Sprouting from the top of the head was a bright, rotating blue searchlight. She hefted the broom and inspected the newcomer. "What are you supposed to be?" "Beeble," it burped. It made another rude body noise and took a tentative hop toward her. "Keep away from me." She made a threatening gesture with the broom as she started edging sideways, away from the broom closet. "I'm warning you." The bread demon had recovered, and was now busily poking through the kitchen cabinets looking for something else to eat, its red belly hanging pendulously over its belt line. "What's going on here?" she muttered. "Jon-Tom!" There was no response. Her husband wasn't due home from work for a while yet. She was isolated in her kitchen. "Somebody! Anybody!" She dodged as the hop searchlight took another bound in her direction, extending toward her face a vile and obscene tongue. "I warned you." She swung the broom and smacked the tongue sideways. The protruding organ whizzed several times around the hopper's head before the tip smacked its owner square in the right eye. "Ow! Ow! Ow! Ow!" It hop retreated, trying to recoil the rebellious organ. The breadbox demon was in an upper cabinet, scattering her victuals. Broom held high, she charged, shoving the hopper aside. "Damn your demonic ass, get out of my provisions!" When she reached the cabinet, the demon was nowhere to be seen, having sought the depths within. But half a dozen brand-new apparitions flew straight out at her, squealing and screeching. As they circled and darted, she swung the broom in frenzied self-defense, fighting to keep them out of her hair. "Get away from me! Get away!" They were a rainbow of colors and a plethora of shapes, none very pleasing to look upon save for one with iridescent compound eyes. It had the body of an undersized, anorexic macaque attached to the wings of a falcon. They came at her from all directions, forcing her to retreat. "Get away, I'm warning you!" she yelled as she flailed with a broom. They were pouring out of the woodwork now, emerging from cabinets and drawers, from cracks in the tree floor, from behind bowls, from beneath the sink, and from the doorway that led to the den. Drooling, grinning, gurgling, belching and farting, laughing and hissing as they crawled, slithered, hopped, and flew toward her. They stank and they gibbered. They uttered incomprehensibilities and obscenities. They messed impertinently with her clean dishes and pawed through her carefully stacked foodstuffs. Dozens of creatures filled the kitchen, and more were arriving every minute. There was a translucent winged thing that looked like nothing so much as a vampire butterfly, horrific in aspect save for its decidedly befuddled expression. It kept beating against the skylight as if trying to escape. Something was tugging at the sandal on her left foot. Looking down, she saw a small, bright yellow and pink polka-dotted snake with 7 heads. "Excuse me," the septocephalic slitherer spoke plaintively, its accent unidentifiable. "I seem to have wandered into the wrong mythology. Can you—" Talea screamed and jumped backward. "Get out of my kitchen! Get out of my house!" The flailing broom knocked 2 of the heads senseless, while the other 5 fell to arguing among themselves. Something landed on her right shoulder. As she reached up to rip it off, she saw a small fat man with a cherubic expression. He was composed entirely of layers of some resilient white substance that threatened to rub off on her blouse. "Madame, I don't know what is going on here, but I have work to do elsewhere, and I resent most heartily being sucked in with the rest of these undisciplined and unrefined conjurations." "Don't blame me, I didn't conjure anything." She grabbed the puffy white arm and wrenched. The limb promptly came off in her fingers. There was no blood, only a sort of thick black goo that began to ooze from the ruptured joints. "Now look what you have done. I will miss my next assignment." "Sorry." She handed back the amputated limb. "Merci." With great dignity, the creature jammed the arm back into the vacant shoulder socket. It hopped off her shoulder and bounced across the floor, disappearing into the other.